Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, continuing to celebrate one of the most iconic heroes in comics, and that is Batman. And we're continuing Bat Week right here on Comic Book Corner 2.0. And today, guys, we're talking about Batman Vengeance of Bane. That's right, guys. This book was written in 1993, and this is the origin tale of Bane. Now, this story is coming right from my Batman Nightfall Volume 1 trade. If you guys want to go and pick that up, you can go to your local comic book store. It's like $30. Definitely worth it. It's got the whole entire first volume of Nightfall in here, and it tells you the story of Bane in here. So in case you weren't sure what his origin tale was, where he came from, what's it about, that's what Vengeance of Bane is all about. Now, this book is written by Chuck Dixon and Graham Nolan. The artwork is pretty good. Now, in this trade, you're not going to get your glossy pages. It stays true to its comic form back in 1993, where you do get newspaper print-like comics. And I like when trades do this because it kind of lives, brings back those times of the olden days of comics, I thought the artwork was very well done in here. It shows Bane as a young boy in the book. And great attention to detail on some of the characters, very dark. We can see Bane as a young boy. He's in a lot of pain. He's scared. And then at times the book can be quite evil as well, as we see Bane kind of flips his lid in the issue. So I think, there wasn't much battle or action scenes in this book. However, when it did show it, it was pretty cool. There's also a cool page in here as well when it comes to the Bane, the way he looks at the end of the book, and then when he comes across Batman, or here's Batman in these last couple of pages in here of this this book. So yeah, so artistically, I thought the book was brilliant. And this is a 64-page book, and plus there's a number 2 to this as well. So what did I think about this story? All right, so first off, again, anything you want to learn about Bane, it's right here in this particular book. And again, I didn't read much Batman when I was younger, so for me, this was a nice treat to find out where Bane came from. And basically, his mom was put in this prison. It was called Peña Doro, and it's otherwise known as the Hard Stone. And since his mom was sentenced there, his Bane himself, he's born in there, and as a male, he was sentenced there from life, from when he was born all the way until death. That was his sentence. And we got to see by the man called Zombie there, who was also at the prison. Followed Bane from when he was an infant all the way until when they escaped. So he's very loyal to Bane, always looked after him, and he does the narration in this book, and the narration is done beautifully. Even though this book is 64 pages, it doesn't feel like 64 pages. There's the right amount of pacing, there's action where there needs to, and the origin of Bane is just a great story to read. And you get to see him, running around. He sees things that he doesn't that he's not supposed to see. He sees death. He sees all the hard things that happen. His mom loses the will to live. There's nothing there for her. Even her son was just not good enough. And we can see that the prison started toughening up Bane as a young boy. He was sent into general population, no more into custody or protective custody or whatnot. And while he was in there as a little boy, their prisoners were picking on him, and he winds up falling to his death. Not almost, but almost falls to his death, and he was into a coma. But while he was in that coma, he had this vision of himself as perfection, and that was what he saw, and he got the will to live. And ever since he came out of that coma, he was this little bit sick and a little bit twisted. He wanted to prove to people that he was no pushover. He would kill prisoners. He would just go to town, and he got that little evil in his eye. You can see that something flipped in his lid. When he started killing people, he wound up going into the hole, and he was in there for 10 years. He was stuck in the hole, and in that whole time, he trained his mind under his own self-meditation, and a lot of things went happen in there. As the issue progresses, you get to see the characters that Bane aligns himself with in the prison and that he's loyal to. He finds a way to be the perfect prisoner. He finds a way to read, to knowledge himself, and he finds that he wants to rule the world one day. And Bird is the one that's been guiding him in the prison, and he talks about Gotham and about Batman and how he feels that Batman is the ruler of Gotham. So Bane right away sets this thing in his brain that he has to go after Batman so he can rule Gotham. As the issue progresses, we wind up seeing how Bane becomes the villain that he is today. How they were experimenting on the super soldier type of serum, and then the toxin known as venom that that created Bane or makes him strong or whatever it is. And we wind up seeing that he tricks the scientists into going under, and they wind up trying to dispose his body, and he goes after the people that did not treat him right, and then he also aligns himself with the people that did treat him right in the prison, and they're kind of like his lackeys going into Gotham. And right away, Bane tries to make a name for himself. He goes after Batman, and he finds that Batman doesn't kill, and he wants to study Batman more before he goes after and kills Batman. There are some cool little action scenes again at the end of this book, and it was just awesome. I really liked learning this origin story of Bane. I thought it was entertaining. They kind of threw in some of these goon-like characters that reminds you of the Three Stooges of Larry, and Moe, Larry, and Curly, which I thought was comical in there. I don't know if anybody got that when they read that, but I thought that was really neat, and it was cool to see Batman in there. So basically, the first half of the issue was a true origin of Bane, and then you get to see origin, or then after the origin, you get to see Bane go to Gotham and then confront Batman for that first time. And I thought it was a really cool book. And then what happens is it leads right into Nightfall, which will be the next installment of this story, which would be Batman issue number 491. So, yeah, so what did I think about this book? I thought it was really awesome. It's a great read. I really loved learning about Bane. It was great character development right from the start. Had me engaged the entire time. The pacing was phenomenal, and I really, really enjoyed it. And now I know a lot more about the character, from where he came from. So, great book. If you guys never read this Vengeance of Batman story, or Vengeance of Bane story otherwise, I definitely suggest that you guys give this one a try. This is a 5 out of 5 stars from me. A lot of good read in here and a great amount of pages. And back then, who knows? I'm not sure how much this cost, but this was probably like $1 or something like that. So, again, guys, 5 out of 5 from me for Vengeance of Bane. Hopefully, you're enjoying Bat Week right here on Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, as always, thank you for watching, and leave those comments below on what you thought of this. Take care, fans. See you soon.